How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's stick mobility class. I am Coach Ray. Thank you for tuning in. So today's class, I wanted to more so be specifically focused on recovery work. So the drills aren't going to be super hard or super challenging in terms of how much tension we're going to generate, but we are going to get the body moving, generating some tension. We're going to get into different positions. We are going to be working with some single leg drills, such as an RDL and hip flexion drill. We're also going to get into a split squat drill, adding in rotation and tension generation as we go through it as well, okay? So I have a pad for us to kneel on because we are going to need that a little bit later. We're also going to have a bench as well to kind of work on stretching out the quads and anterior tissues, kind of opening all that up, okay? And I have one long stick with me today. So what I do want to start with is some dynamic drills at first, okay? So we're going to be moving around and working within our space in order to kind of warm up a little bit. So I'll actually start from over here. Now, what I want to do, we're going to be focused on taking a step at a time. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to focus on stretching out the hamstring and kind of getting all those tissues on the posterior side loosened up. So I'm going to have the stick and I'm going to grip it at roughly about a little wider than shoulder width here, okay? I want to make sure I stand tall. Now, my feet are about a couple inches apart. Now, what I want to do from here, I'm going to bring my right heel forward, dorsiflex that ankle, okay? I'm only maybe about an inch in front of the line of my toes on my left foot. I'm going to hinge, keeping a slight bend to that right knee, go down. Then I'm going to come up and I'm going to plant that right heel down or right foot down. Now I'm going to switch. Now I'm going to be on the left heel, same position, and I'm going to hinge and I'm going to follow the stick along my front leg. I'm going to come back up, plant that left foot, right heel in front. Make sure you're breathing here. Remember to drive those hips back, come up. Plant that right foot, left foot forward. Get a good stretch going here. Back up. Right foot forward. Really try to drive those hips back, soft bend to that front leg. Good. Now step forward to left one last time. Make sure you breathe. Should begin to stretch in that hamstring. Come up. Excellent. Now I'm going to turn and face the camera. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to take the stick out as wide as I can grip. Okay. Now I'm going to start with my feet together. Okay. I'm going to step out to the right and I'm going to go into a Cossack Squat. Okay. Rotate to my right, rotate to my left. Now I'm going to come up, lunge over to my left side, sitting my hips back, rotate to my left, then my right. Good, back up, right over to my right again, rotate to my right, rotate to my left. I'm not creating tension on the stick. This is just a way for me to guide my T-spine. Lunge to the left, rotate to the left, to the right. Let's go one more time each way. Lunge over to the right, rotate to the right, left, good, up, lunge to the left, rotate to the left, now to right, back up. Excellent. Let's go ahead and wiggle those feet in here. Okay. Now I'm going to place a stick behind my back. Okay. Now we're going to go with the hamstring strip, kind of like the hamstring dynamic one that we just did. But this time I have the stick behind my back. I'm going to rotate into that position as well. Okay. So I'll actually step back here. I'm going to have feet roughly about an inch or two apart, okay? I'm gonna step forward with that left leg, slide bend to the knee, going to hinge, and then I'm gonna rotate the right end of the stick down. Good, back to center, up, plant that left foot down, right foot comes forward, ankle dorsiflex, gonna hinge, rotate that left end of the stick down. Good, back to center, up, plant that right foot, let's go again, hinge back, rotate that right end down, good, back to center, up, step forward, right foot down, hinge, rotate the left end, good, back to center, come up, and perfect. All right, now we're gonna get a little bit of foot and ankle drills. We are gonna be needing this as we get into our strength training drills. So I'm gonna go with the wide stance, okay, a little wider than shoulder width, toes pointed forward. I'm gonna have the bottom of the stick angled in towards me, okay? Now, I'm actually gonna squat down relatively far here, okay? And you can always widen out your stance, right? So you know what, for this, I'm actually gonna widen out my stance just a little bit more, and I'm gonna squat down, okay? From here, I wanna make sure the stick is slightly angled in towards me. I want my hands roughly about chest to sternum height, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna bring that right heel up. Good. I'm gonna transition, bringing the left heel up, right heel down. Do not let your heels touch the floor. You wanna keep all 5 toes in contact with the floor here. Good, switch, right heel up, left heel down. Keep that heel hovering. Good, left heel up, right heel down. Breathe, right heel up, left heel down. Good, left heel up, right heel down. So we're getting the quads, right? All those anterior tissues working here as well. Good, switch, right heel up, left heel down. You should be in a balanced position. Also make sure that your pelvis is stacked under your spine. Switch. Good. Switch one more time each way. Right heel up, left heel down. Good. Left heel up, right heel down. Good, bring both heels down to the floor. Ease off, okay? Awesome. Now we're gonna focus on lateral shifting. Still keeping the positioning the same. I'm gonna actually switch my hands, squat back down into that position, okay? Now from here, I'm gonna bring that right heel up. I'm gonna use some lateral shifting. So remember, we're moving at the heel. So move that left heel in. Good, and then, right heel in, and then right heel out on a pinky toe as you shift that ankle outwards. Shift in. Well, now you're on that big toe, going towards your midline, right? Out. Good, in. And out. Back to center, place it down. Now that left comes up. Shift that heel in. Excellent, then out. Good, in. And out. In. And out. Back to center and down. Good. Okay. Now we're going to get the spine moving a little bit more. So I'm going to take the stick and I'm going to place it behind my mid back. Okay. Now from here, I want to keep my elbows in close to my sides, close to my rib cage here. Now, foot stance, a little slightly wider than shoulder width. We're not going to go too wide here. We are going to start to pivot the feet in as we go along, but that's going to be a little bit later. So from here, notice I'm not actually gripping the stick. You can if you want, but I prefer to go with an open hand grip. Now from here, I want to get into a little bit of a horse stance here, and I want to squeeze my glutes, and I want to keep my pelvis stacked under my spine the entire time. All right? So this is locks my hips in extension. From here, I'm going to rotate to my left, so I'm going to drive that right hand forward. Good. Back to center. Rotate to the right, drive that left hand forward. Good. Rotate to the left, drive that right hand forward. Good. Rotate to the right, drive that left hand forward. Head follows. Rotate to the right. Sorry, left. Now rotate to the right. Good. Kind of unlock the glutes. Now let's rotate the hips. Rotate to the left, rotate the hips. Feet don't move. Good. Back to center, rotate to the right, rotate the hips. So you're going to get some internal rotation on that outer hip. Good. Back to center, rotate to the left. Good. Rotate to the right. Good. Now I'm going to pivot my foot. So as I'm rotating to the left, I'm going to pivot that right foot. Again, we're not moving the left foot, keeping it planted. Rotate back to center, place it back down, switch, rotate to the right, pivot that left foot. Should be getting a little bit more rotation here. Plant that foot back down, rotate to the left, pivot to the right. Plant the foot back down, rotate to the right. Good. Back to center and ease off. Still keeping this position. I'm going to put the stick in the crooks of my elbows now. Now from here, I'm going to hinge, okay? So I'm going to drive my hips back and get into this hinge position here. Now, I do want to leverage my hands on the inside of my thighs here. So I want the back of my hands pressing in. This is going to allow me to work on getting more rotation and leverage. So from this position here, now I'm going to start by rotating to my left. I'm going to have my right hand being the driving force. So from here, I'm going to slide that right hand down and on my inner thigh, and then I'm going to press it against. I'm keeping my head looking at the floor here because I also get a little bit of cervical rotation here, or the neck. I'm going to come back to the center. Now I'm going to rotate the opposite way. I'm going to slide my left hand down my inner leg, drive off that left hand, get that leverage. Good. Come back to center. Slide that right hand down. Keep your head facing the floor. Good. Slide again. Opposite side. Really leverage. Try to get a little more rotation. Feel that rib cage opening up. Good. Back to center. Going to come up and relax. Awesome. Now we're going to get into some kayaking here. Okay. I'm going to take this stick. I'm going to place it basically across my chest here. Now I'm going to have my feet at shoulder width. Toes are going to be pointed forward. We're going to squeeze those glutes, lock those hips into extension here. We're not going to actually rotate into this. We're going to segment the spine into the rotation as we go along. Start with my left hand up. I'm going to drive that left hand through. Right hand comes back up and over. Good. You should feel that shoulder blade gliding along the rib cage. Good. Make sure you're breathing here, folks. Make sure you're breathing. Good. Should feel the shoulder blade starting to loosen up a bit more. Now we're gonna start to slowly rotate here, okay? So as the right hand comes up and over, rotate to your left. Not a lot, just a little. Rotate to your right. Good. Make sure you're breathing here. Speed should be matching mine, not going any faster, okay? Excellent. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Good. Okay. Shake it out a little bit. All right. Now we're going to shift over into the strength training part of this workout. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to work with the single leg RDL into a hip flexion drill. We've done this one before. So what we're going to do, I'm going to have the stick out to the right. Okay. Now, the leg that I'm going to be actively moving on, sorry about that, is going to be my left leg, okay? So, hands are roughly about shoulder width here. Want to make sure that I'm actually got a good grip, double overhand grip on the stick here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring my right foot up off the floor, just hover it. I'm not actually bringing hip flexion yet, okay? Make sure you're grabbing around with that left foot. Now from here, I'm going to go into a hip hinge, driving that right foot back. Good. Now I'm going to rotate that right end of the stick down towards the floor, and I'm going to create some force by creating a bow. So I'm going to pull up with the left, push down with the right hand, about 30 to 40%. Make sure you're squeezing that right glute. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come back to keeping it even. Good. Come up. Bring the right knee up. Push it against the stick. Feel those hip flexors working on that right side. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Oop. Ease off. Good. So let's go through 3 more repetitions. So the hard part about this one is going to be the balance. Okay. So again, make sure you're grabbing the ground with your left foot. Hover the right foot off. Okay. Hinge. Good. If you can get the stick below your knee, that's perfect. Rotate that right end of the stick down. Create that bow. You should be rotating with the shoulders here. Not trying to lean the whole body onto the stick. 3, 2, 1. Good. Back to neutral. Whoa. Come up. Push your right knee up into the stick. 3, 2, 1. Down. Ease off. Good. You should be feeling that lower leg muscles working here, right? We're effectively staying on that foot for 20 seconds. Okay. We're gonna go again. Hover, so grab the ground with the left foot, hover that right foot off, go back into that hinge. Get right below the knee. Rotate that stick towards the floor. Push with the right, pull with the left. Three, 2, 1. Good. Back up. Bring that right knee up. Push. Three, 2, 1. Down. Ease off. Good. We're gonna go one more time here, okay? Now, as you're actively grabbing the ground with your left foot, again, you're gonna feel quite a few tissues working here, okay? Last one. Grab the ground. Here, good. Center, up. Bring our right knee up. Push. Three, two, one, down. Ease off. Good. Okay. Now we're going to switch sides. So, going to flip the stick around. Still going to be gripping at the same place here. So remember, one side is always going to be a little bit harder than the other. For me, my right side is actually more challenging. So, same thing. Grab the ground with your toes. Okay. Hover that left foot off. Slowly hinge. Try to control it the best you can. Rotate the end of the stick towards the floor. Push, pull. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Come up. Good. Bring that left knee up. Push. Three, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Excellent. Let's get 3 more here. Over that left foot off. Grab the ground with the right foot. Okay, grip that ground. Hinge. Rotate the end of the stick toward the floor. Push. Three, 2, 1. Good. Back to center. Come up. Drive that left knee up. Three, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Excellent. Let's get 2 more repetitions here. Hover to the left foot. Grab the ground with the right foot. Hinge. Rotate the end of the stick toward the floor. Push. Make sure you're breathing here, folks. 3, 2, 1. Good. Back to center. Come up. Push up. Three, 2, 1. Ease off. Good. Let's get 1 more here. Okay. Grab the ground. Over the left. Hinge. Throw that left heel back. Rotate. Push. 3, 2, 1. Back hip. Good. Come up. Bring that left knee up. Push. Three, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. Excellent. So, I'm going to do here, I'm going to grab the pad. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with my right leg forward, left knee down. So I want to get into a split squat position. Now, again, we're going to be changing the placing of the stick. So we're not just going to go front and outside. We're actually going to go inside as well. So we're going to be rotating and also creating that tension, which is going to put a lot more stress on the oblique as well. Okay. So back foot is actually dorsiflex. Have to have it dorsiflex here. You want to drive that big toe down into the floor. So from here, bottom of the stick is actually in line with the toes of my right foot. I'm gonna have my hands gripped a little higher than shoulder height here. This is just so that when I hover this left knee, I'm in a good position. So from here, I'm gonna hover that back knee, drive down your front leg and your back leg, squeeze that left glute, okay? From here, drive the stick down 40%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Good, excellent. Now, we're gonna rotate a little bit to the left, so we're at 12 o'clock here. Let's go to about 11, okay? Both hands are still on a stick. The shoulder should be rotating, okay? Not the body, not the hips, but just the shoulder. T-spine rotation here, okay? Same thing, grip the ground with your foot, with both feet. Hover that back leg, drop both legs into the ground. All right, drop stick into the floor, push. 40%. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, ease off. Excellent. Now we're gonna rotate a little further. Let's go to 10 o'clock, okay? Then we'll head back the other way. Same thing, hand across. So now we're gonna challenge a lot of those systems a lot more here, right? Hover that left knee off the ground, push stick to the floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, ease off. Now we're gonna go to 1 and 2 o'clock. So the stick actually needs to come across that front leg here. Okay. Same position. Make sure you're grabbing the ground. Hover, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, ease off. Now we're gonna go to 2 o'clock. Okay, a little bit further rotation. Or as close to 2 o'clock as you can go. Same thing. Okay. Over that back leg, make sure you drop both feet into the ground, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Good. Now we're gonna switch sides. So the good thing about this is we're getting multiple things involved. We're not just getting quads and hamstrings for balance, we're also getting that back glute involved, getting the core engaged more. So getting things to work uniformly. So we're gonna do that same thing, switch your hands this time around, okay? So, same thing, make sure you're driving all 5 toes to the floor on the back foot, okay? Hover that back leg, drive stick down 40%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, ease off. Make sure that you're keeping your back glute tight. All right, let's go to 11 o'clock here. Okay. Angle the stick in towards you a bit. From here, hover that back knee. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down. Ease off. Let's go to 2 o'clock. Okay, same thing. So remember, as you're rotating away from that front leg, the challenge of that rotation increases. Right, same thing. Over that back leg, drive the stick down, 40%. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, ease off. Excellent. Now, we're gonna come to 11 o'clock. Okay, same thing. Drop both feet into the ground. Over that back leg, push. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down. ease off. Let's go to 10 o'clock. Last one here, okay? Doing excellent, everybody. Okay. Cover that back knee off. Push down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and ease off. Good. We're gonna stay in kneeling position, but now we're gonna go to a tall kneeling position. And I'm actually gonna rotate this to the side because we really wanna focus on keeping the alignment of the back going here. So, we're gonna have both knees down. Now, typically we can either go with a plantar flexed or dorsiflexed position. For the purpose of creating some power in the lower body, I'm gonna go with a dorsiflexed position, driving my big toe down into the floor, okay, both feet. So I wanna make sure I stay as tall as I possibly can here, and my knees are about shoulder width here. I wanna make sure that I have a good position. So I'm going to roll my pelvis under, so slight posterior tilt. Squeeze those glutes here, folks. My hands are gonna be wider than shoulder width. Again, it's gonna depend on your shoulder mobility, okay? So from here, keep my chin back, shoulders down. I wanna drive both feet into the floor, squeeze those glutes. I wanna feel some activation in the glutes and the lower body. I'm gonna pull the stick apart here, about 40% tension. Just slowly come up. Keep an arm straight. Get to an overhead position. Should feel that core working. Slowly bring the stick back down. Once it gets in your eyesight, compress the stick. All the way down. Ease off. Good. Okay, we're gonna do that again. Drive both feet down, squeeze the glutes, pull the stick apart 40%. Slowly bring it up overhead. Try not to let the angle of your body change. Keep the rib cage down. Sit overhead position. Bring it back down. Compress. Good. Ease off. Okay, let's go 2 more. Pull stick apart. Make sure you're getting that activation. Up. Hold. Back down. Compress. Good. Ease off. Let's go one more time. Okay. Pull stick apart. Come up overhead. Just make sure those glutes are tight. Keep the ribs down. Come down. Compress. And ease off. Good. Excellent. Okay, so now we're gonna go to a standing position. So we're gonna go into a cool down here. So I'm gonna kick this over to the side. We don't really need it for now. Okay. So we're just gonna focus on, at least for the time being, opening up that T-spine. So we did some things that were challenging to it. So now we're gonna go and focus on getting some extension here, all right? So I'm gonna have both feet roughly about shoulder width apart. I want the stick to be roughly about a foot in front of the line of my toes. Now, I'm gonna have my hands about neck level, okay? Both hands here. So what I'm gonna do from here, I'm going to drive my hips back and reach out with my hands here, okay? So from here, drive back with the hips, reach those hands out. I'm gonna come up, squeeze the glutes. I'm not driving the stick into the ground. hinge. Good. Going to come up. Squeeze the glutes. Let's go one more time. Draw those hands out. Good. Slowly come up. Squeeze the glutes and relax. Awesome. Now I'm going to do stretch out the chest and shoulder tissues here. So I'm going to take, again, a shoulder width stance. I'm going to have the stick on the inside of my right foot. Okay? My right hand is going to be roughly about forehead height. From here, what I want to do is I'm going to hinge back and I'm going to get into a hang. I want to allow those chest tissues to open up here. So from here, hinge, stick comes out to the side, arm stays straight, and then as I get lower, I want to pull the stick in towards my rib cage here. Now it's important the alignment of the stick here, because if it's overhead, it changes the tissues. I want to make sure I get the chest a bit. Okay, shoulders. You're gonna feel the front, the shoulder working here. Good. Gonna come up. Excellent. Gonna switch sides. We're gonna go back and forth. And at the same height. Same thing, so arms straight, hinge. Pull the stick towards the rib cage. And you're just allowing that other arm to hang. Make sure you breathe, slowly come up. Good. I'm gonna wiggle my feet out a little bit wider. Stick goes right back on the inside of the instep of my right foot. Hands in the same position. From here, hinge, same thing. Good, come up. Switch sides. Same thing, arms straight. There you go, make sure you got a good grip on the stick. Let that opposite arm hang. Good, slowly come up. Excellent. So now what we're going to do here, I'm actually going to use this wedge here. So this is going to act as if it's a corner of a wall. What we're now going to do, again, we're still stretching out the chest and shoulder, but now we can actually add in that bicep a little bit here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to face this way. Or actually, my apologies, I'll go here. So what I'm going to do from here, I want to have my left foot forward. Okay, right foot back. Now, notice that this shoulder is an extension. Okay, what I don't want is I don't want my shoulder to roll forward because now it's going to take off the stretch of the pec and anterior delt. So I want to make sure I roll my shoulder back and down. Okay, you're going to notice an increased stretch on that bicep. From this position here, both feet are going to be flat. And I want to squeeze my right glute here. Okay. Now from here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to simply, while looking forward, I'm going to look to my left and rotate my head to the left. As soon as I do that, I'm going to get an increased stretch in the pec and shoulder and bicep. Then I'm going to come back forward, rotate to the left again. Good, come back forward. Rotate to the left. Make sure you're breathing. Back forward. Let's go 2 more. Rotate to the left. Excellent. Rotate forward. Last one. Rotate to the left. Back forward. Good, and ease off. Now we're going to switch sides. So let's get to that same position. Remember, both feet are going to be flat. Okay? So from here, squeeze out left glute, bring that left shoulder down. Okay, don't let it pop up towards your ears. Looking forward, look to the right, rotate. Good. Back forward. Excellent. Rotate to the right. Back forward. Rotate to the right. Back forward. Let's go 2 more. Rotate to the right. Back forward. Rotate to the right. Back forward. Good. Ease off. Excellent. Right. So now we're going to use the pad again. We are going to get into the quads, I promise. So we're going to the Guitar Hero stretch, right? So I'm going to have my right knee down first. I'm going to have my left leg out to the side. Now what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to place the stick behind my back as well as in front of my left knee. Now, the reason why we're doing this is it can allow us to force this hip open instead of allowing that hip to crash down. So we can utilize leverage of the stick to do so. So from here, I want to make sure my spine is forward. Now adjust the stick to whatever position you need to make sure it's wedged in that leg. Okay. Now from here, I want to keep my hip forward, right, best I can. And again, as long as we're not rotating into it or allowing it to slip, we'll get a great stretch here. So from here, I want to have my right foot, flat on the floor, top of the foot flat on the floor. So push that foot into the floor just a bit. And now I'm going to shift towards my left. Now notice, you're going to have to pull with this right hand, pull his right hand forward, okay, to keep that knee open. That's going to get more of a stretch in that adductor line, okay. Slowly come up. Good, we're going to go into it again. Make sure you breathe. You can, if you want, hold the stick with the left hand. It's not necessary though. Breathe. Slowly come out. Let's go into it one more time. Slowly shift in. We'll try to sink into it. Three, 2, 1. Slowly come out. It's off. Good. Let's go and switch legs. So this is too intense, right? Just move that leg in a little bit more so you're not going as far, okay? So same thing. Left leg down, right leg out. Foot planted. Find a good position in the perimeter. You can always adjust if you need to. So drive that left foot into the floor. Shift towards the right. Okay, you'll probably also notice you're getting a little bit of a stretch on that right adductor as well. Going to come up. Good. Let's go 2 more. Breathe. Slowly go into it. Really allow those hips to sink in. Good. Back up. One more time, folks. Sink in. Good. 3, 2, 1. Slowly come out. Ease off. Excellent. Now we're going to use the bench to work on stretching out those quads. I'm going to place it behind here. I'm going to use the pad because if you have a chair or a bench, well, at least preferably one that's not super high, this will allow you to, again, get into those quads, those anterior tissues. The reason why this stretch is good is because it allows us to keep the hip in extension, all right? So I'm gonna have my right leg back, top of my foot is on the bench, okay? Now, the distance of your left foot is gonna vary for everybody depending on height, limb length, and all that, but you do wanna find a position that's actually be pretty good for you. Sticks on my right side, pretty much in front of my right hip. What we're gonna do from here, I'm just gonna simply sink down. Get that right knee to touch the pad if I can. Now from here, I'm gonna reach up with that right hand and I'm going to tuck my pelvis. Now from here, all I'm gonna do is just focus on relaxing and allowing those tissues just to kind of stretch out here. And I do wanna make sure I'm focusing on breathing. Good, so now place your left hand on the stick. Use the stick to assist you up. We're gonna go into that 2 more times. Slowly lower yourself down. Keep that pelvis tucked. You're gonna feel a big, big, big stretch on the front of the hip here. Going to come up. Let's go one more time. Slowly lower yourself down. Tuck the pelvis. Shift those hips back. Breathe, relax. 3, 2, 1, come up. Excellent. Go on, switch sides. Left hand up. Gonna put that left foot back on the bench. Okay, you're gonna do that same thing. Adjust your foot as you need to. Sorry, foot is cramping. So lower. Touch that left knee to the floor if you can. Left hand up. Tuck the pelvis. Doing good. Make sure you breathe. It's so important with this one in particular. Three, 2, 1. Sit yourself up. Let's go into it again. Tuck the pelvis. Feel the quad stretch. That hip flexor stretch. 3, 2, 1. Come up. Good. Let's go one more time. Last one. Set knee back down. Tuck the pelvis. Three, 2, 1, come up. Excellent. Ease off. And that concludes today's Sick Mobility class. Thank you for joining me again today, everybody. Hope everybody had a good class. Again, just kind of wanted to focus on recovery, keep it a little bit on the easier side. But I hope you guys are having a good day. I'll catch you on the next one.